My name is Sara, and let me start by asking you an important question. Have you looked closely at your Social Security check this month and felt like something didn't quite add up? Maybe you heard that benefits went up. Maybe you were told there was a cost of living adjustment meant to help with higher prices. And yet, when the deposit arrived, it didn't feel like much of a raise at all. If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining things. Something did change, and it changed as of January 1st. In fact, several things changed at once, and most people were never clearly told how those changes work together. For many retirees, Social Security feels like the one stable piece of their budget. Rent goes up, groceries go up, gas goes up, but Social Security is supposed to be predictable. The truth is, the program itself changes every year, and this year brought some of the most meaningful rule shifts we've seen in a while. These changes affect how much money actually lands in your pocket, how much you can earn if you're still working, when you qualify for full benefits, and even how much you may owe in taxes. Let's walk through this calmly and clearly so you understand what's really happening and how it may affect you. First, let's talk about the headline most people heard. Social Security benefits increased by 2.8% this year. For the average retiree, that works out to roughly $56 more per month. On the surface, that sounds like good news. Any increase is better than none, especially when prices are still high. But here's where reality steps in. At the same time that benefits increased, Medicare Part B premiums also went up sharply. The standard monthly premium rose by nearly 10%. That means a significant portion of that Social Security increase is being absorbed immediately by higher Medicare costs before you ever see the money. So, while your gross benefit went up, your net benefit, the amount you actually keep after Medicare is deducted, increased by far less. For many people, the real increase is closer to $30 to $40 a month. And that's before accounting for higher deductibles, co-pays, prescription costs, and other medical expenses that tend to rise faster than overall inflation. This pattern is becoming familiar to retirees. A cost of living adjustment arrives, and then healthcare costs quietly take much of it back. It can feel frustrating and confusing, especially when you're trying to stretch a fixed income across rising expenses. And this isn't a one-time issue. This is now the third year in a row that Medicare Part B premiums have increased faster than the Social Security cost of living adjustment. Over time, that gap matters. It slowly reduces your purchasing power, even though your benefit technically goes up each year. Many older Americans already sensed this. Surveys show that most retirees felt a 3% adjustment wouldn't be enough to keep up with rising costs. This year's increase was even smaller than that, so it's no surprise that many people feel like they're falling behind despite annual increases. Now let's talk about another major change that affects millions of people, especially those approaching retirement age. If you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is now officially 67. This marks the end of a gradual increase that has been underway for more than 4 decades. What this means is simple but very important. You are not entitled to your full Social Security benefit until you reach age 67. If you choose to claim benefits earlier, starting as early as age 62, your monthly benefit is permanently reduced. That reduction can be as much as 30%, and it's not temporary. It doesn't disappear later. It lasts for the rest of your life. For some people, claiming early is necessary due to health issues, job loss, or other circumstances. But it's critical to understand the long-term impact before making that decision. A smaller check every month affects everything, from housing choices to medical care to peace of mind. This brings us to another area that often causes confusion: working while collecting Social Security. If you're receiving benefits and have not yet reached full retirement age, there is an earnings limit. This year, you can earn up to $24,480 before benefits are reduced. If you earn more than that, Social Security withholds $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the limit. That can come as a shock if you weren't expecting it. However, there's an important detail many people miss. Once you reach full retirement age, the earnings test disappears entirely. You can earn as much as you want, and your Social Security benefit will not be reduced. Also, if benefits are withheld before full retirement age because of excess earnings, Social Security later recalculates your benefit to give you credit for those months. The money isn't lost forever, but it is delayed, and delayed income can be difficult when you're trying to manage expenses today. Understanding how and when the earnings limit applies can help you plan work decisions more confidently and avoid unpleasant surprises. Now let's talk about something that may actually work in your favor if you know about it. There's a new tax deduction available for people aged 65 and older. It's worth up to $6,000 per person and is available whether you itemize or take the standard deduction. For married couples where both spouses qualify, that's up to $12,000. This deduction applies on top of the existing standard deduction and the additional amount seniors already receive. For many households, this significantly reduces taxable income. There are income limits. Single filers with income up to $75,000 and married couples up to $150,000 can claim the full deduction. Above those levels, the deduction gradually phases out. It's also important to know this deduction is temporary. As the rules stand now, it runs through the 2028 tax year. That gives you a limited window to benefit from it. Why does this matter? Because deductions translate into real savings. For someone in the 12% tax bracket, a $6,000 deduction can reduce federal taxes by around $720. In the 22% bracket, the savings are even larger. This deduction applies to all taxable income, not just Social Security. That means it can affect how you plan withdrawals from retirement accounts when you sell investments, or whether a Roth conversion makes sense during these years. Used thoughtfully, this deduction can help offset rising costs and give you a little more breathing room. Another change worth understanding involves the Social Security payroll tax cap. This year, wages up to $184,500 are subject to Social Security tax. Earnings above that level are not taxed for Social Security purposes and do not count toward future benefits. If you're still working and earning a good income, higher earnings can replace lower earning years in your benefit calculation. Social Security uses your highest 35 years of earnings. Adding strong years late in your career can increase your eventual benefit even if you're close to retirement. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Social Security cost of living adjustments are based on inflation data for urban wage earners and clerical workers. That group has very different spending patterns than retirees. Healthcare, which takes up a much larger share of retiree budgets, tends to rise faster than general inflation. That's one reason many retirees feel that COLAs don't reflect their real-world expenses. Healthcare costs in retirement are substantial. Estimates show that a typical retiree may need well over $170,000 just to cover healthcare expenses over retirement, not including long-term care. At the same time, the purchasing power of Social Security benefits has declined significantly over the past decade. This combination creates what many people experience as a slow squeeze. Your check goes up, but your costs go up faster. Over time, that gap becomes harder to manage. What makes this especially challenging is that these changes don't happen all at once in a clear announcement. They arrive through new premiums, new limits, new tax rules, and new thresholds. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss opportunities or underestimate costs. The good news is that understanding these rules gives you options. Knowing your full retirement age helps you make informed claiming decisions. Understanding the earnings test lets you plan work without fear. Being aware of tax deductions allows you to keep more of what you've earned. This isn't about panic or pessimism. It's about being informed and prepared. Social Security remains a vital foundation of retirement income for millions of Americans, but it works best when you understand how the pieces fit together. If you felt confused or frustrated by recent changes, you're not alone. Many people feel the same way. The system is complex and the stakes are high, but with clear information, you can make choices that support your financial stability and peace of mind. Your retirement is the result of decades of work. You deserve clarity, fairness, and respect when it comes to the benefits you've earned. Taking the time to understand these changes is one of the most important steps you can take to protect your future. And that's exactly why we're here, to help you see the full picture calmly and clearly so you can move forward with confidence.